Good morning. It is Thursday, December 2nd, 2021, and we are on day 2 of Vlogmas. It is currently 7:26 a.m. and your girl is headed to work. So got a late start today. I started my period yesterday, and anytime it is that time, my sleep is always off. So like I usually have insomnia like the week before, and then like that week I sleep just so soundly, and it is very hard to wake up. So my streak of being on time is currently in jeopardy, but what are you gonna do, right? Anyway, today, as I mentioned in my vlog yesterday of day 1, I have a full calendar of meetings today. I mean, here's a picture of it. It's pretty crazy. But the good thing is so I did this thing on my schedule where I block out my lunch. I do not do meetings unless absolutely necessary between the noon hour, for a couple of reasons. One, that's lunchtime. 2, it's lunchtime. And 3, it's lunchtime. And that is just the time of day that I like to take for myself. I get an hour. So, I mean, there are days where, like, when my nephew has wrestling meets, then obviously, like, I usually don't take a lunch because I like to leave early to get to his meet. But other than that, girl, I'm taking my lunch break. So I do have that today, and then I have meetings this afternoon. So yeah, that's pretty much what my day is gonna look like today. I did finish a book last night. So I finished The Roommate by Brandy Bush last night, and it's a short book. It was like 160 pages, so it wasn't anything too serious. And that marks number 71 for the year. This book is basically about Celeste, and she gets invited to spend Christmas with her roommate's family, and there is a lot of sexual tension between Celeste and her roommate Yvonne's parents. And yeah, one of the one of the reviews on the book, because the book has only been out for about like a year and a half. One of the reviews on the book was that this lady said, after those last few pages, I needed a cigarette. It's facts. Yeah, I'm not gonna say no more. I will link it in the description, but read The Roommate. It's a short read. I also think too, though, that like when you read books like this, just know they are purely fiction. And yeah, they're fiction, and that's what it is. She's got another book called The Nanny. I don't know if I'm gonna read it or not, but the other book though that I am currently reading that I would like to finish is, spoiler alert, by Olivia Dade. I've had this book for like a month, and I think I got a good quarter of the way through, and then I stopped reading, and I read like a bunch of books in between. So I will be going back to that book because I would really like to see how this one plays out, and hopefully I'll finish it before the end of the week. I'm currently at 71 books for the read for the year. I hit my goal of 52 a while ago, but I will say though, I have really been enjoying my Kindle. So I bought a Kindle during the pandemic, and I think I might have read like 2 books on it, and then I didn't pick it up for like months. But I will tell you, of the last like 20 books that I have read, like 18 of them have been an ebook of some sort, whether I get it from the library, I purchased it, which I don't purchase a lot of ebooks, or I got it from Kindle Unlimited, since I do have that subscription, which best $10 I could possibly spend in my month, because I definitely read more than $10 worth of books every month. So yeah, so that's kind of like where I am with my reading. Another fun thing though that I'll talk about a little bit with reading that I know I didn't talk about yesterday in the vlog So yesterday I had my first book club meeting at work. So, okay. So I, kind of like I told you guys, I've been at Iowa State for almost 6 months now. Wow. And right away, me and this lady clicked because we are both like big readers. We love books, right? So I was like, maybe I'll start a book club, but I need to like figure out my job first, right? So I finally ended up starting this book club, and basically it's kind of like a lunch and discuss type deal where we don't pick a book. So I'm a millennial. Don't tell me what to do and don't tell me what to read. I do not like traditional book clubs because, again, I don't want to read what everybody else reads. I like to have the autonomy to pick the book I want to read and talk about it. And I have yet to find a group where you can just talk about the books you read and it be done, right? So I started this book club at work. Basically, that's what we do. We talk about the books that we read. We ended up like recommending 13 books to each other yesterday, which was awesome. And we just had a really fun conversation over lunch, and we're going to be meeting monthly. It was a small group, but it was really, really great. So really looking forward to that. And our next meeting is in January. So I'm in a book club now after however long of me not being in one. I have my reasons. And it was a lot of fun. So anyway, that's all that I have for right now. I'm gonna drive to work. I should get there at about 8:05. So I probably will be in my office by like 8:15 today. So shouldn't be too bad. Anyway, and of course there's a truck behind me that is literally riding my behind like you would not believe. So annoying. Anyway, that's all that I have for you guys. I do hope that everyone is having a great day so far, and I will see you guys on my next update. Bye.
Hey everyone, so I wanted to take a minute to finally show you guys my office. So yeah, I'll go ahead and show you guys. Okay, so this is my office. The door is shut because I have another meeting. But as you guys can see, I have a whiteboard that I put the ISU football poster on, my little side table for where I put my backpack and stuff. But this is where the awesomeness is. So this is my little desk cubicle, and what I really like about my desk is it is a standing desk, so it can go up or go down. So sometimes I do stand up when I am doing work, but I have my shelf up here with my family and my doggies, and oh, I need to change my calendar. I'll just do that. There we go. So I have my shelf up here. I have all my family photos. These are just like my favorite ones. And then of course, my doggies, my degree, a couple of little Iowa Statey things are also up here. And then I do have a 2-screen setup for my desk because I primarily do work on my laptop. I actually don't have a desktop, which I'm fine with. And then I've got, of course, my stickers and just some more information about Iowa State. And then I had them put this corkboard up for me so I can have my calendar and a couple other things up here, like my nephew's sports schedules. So that is my desk, perfect size. And then I also do have 2 extra cabinets. And as you guys can see too, I need to vacuum. So I'll be sure to get that done. So yeah, so that's my office. I do have quite a bit still that I need to get done today. And I have another meeting in about 10 minutes. So yeah, so other than that though, day's going pretty well so far. I got to my office at about 8:15, 8:16, something like that, I don't know. But I was able to get my planner set up for the day. I've got my OneNote set up because I have so many meetings today. I have, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Granted, some of them are only 30 minutes, thank God. But yeah, so I just have a really busy day today. But all good. And I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to talk to you guys about later. Because I don't know if I want to talk about my planner journey. I don't know if I want to talk about my shop. I don't know if I want to talk about books, because I know I told you guys about the books that I was reading, that I read last night, and then what I want to read tonight. So I just kind of need to think about that, what I want to talk about on today's vlog during my night portion. Anyway, that's all that I have. I'm going to go ahead and jump on this meeting. Oh, and that's another thing. The majority of my meetings are virtual today. Very happy about that. Very. So anyway, that is all that I have for right now. And I'll catch you guys on the next update. Bye.
Hey everyone, it is now late. I don't know what time it is. I know it's definitely past 8 o'clock. But I've been home for a while. I ended up making dinner. I made basically taco bowls for dinner. I really wanted Chipotle, but Chipotle is literally like on the other side of town. I ain't doing that. So I made taco bowls for dinner tonight with chicken. Watched some of the Saints Cowboys game and just kind of relaxed for the most part. My husband actually went to a wrestling meet with my nephew at my alma mater, Roosevelt High School here in Des Moines, Iowa, class 2004, go Rough Riders. And so he's home now, so I figured I'd come back here and give you guys the last part of today's vlog. I want to talk about books. So this year so far, I have actually finished 71 books, but I want to share with you guys my favorite books from the year, my best book, basically my book of the months for January through November. I have not picked my December one yet. I'll probably reveal that one later once I feel like I finally read it. And then I will be doing a battle of the books like I did last year in my vlog. So let's get started, shall we? And I really hate this, so like my braids are unraveling. I'm getting them done next week, so anyway. All right, so first book that I adored this year, my January book of the month, was Mercy by Jodi Picoult. This book was incredible. I gave it 5 stars, and this book is basically about a guy who is a part of his wife's assisted suicide. Fantastic book. And what I also really liked about this book, because it does, you know, beg the question, you know, what would you do for a loved one, right? But also, there was like a whole nother dynamic with, can you hear my husband in the background? Something must have just happened in the game. Sorry, something happened in the game. I don't know what, but he's fine. Anyway, but the married couple in the book, that's actually the guy that helped kill his wife. Her husband has an affair. And it was just an incredible book. I actually did a read along of this one, so I read it and I listened to the audio. Great book, and I love Jodi Picoult. I just actually wrapped up my 3rd book of hers last month. I also read Perfect Match. Fantastic novel. My February book of the month was Fight or Flight by Samantha Young. I adored this book. First and foremost, there was a hot Scottish guy in it. Yes, please. And it's kind of like a enemies to lovers type deal. But it was a really cute read. And then there was also another element of the book where there was a trauma that actually he had to get over. So I thought that was really good. I gave that one 4 stars. The next book is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. Loved it. Michael, oh my God, gorgeous. And the heroine in the book, she was fantastic as well. Unfortunately, I can't really remember her name right now. But I really love this book because, you know, this guy, Michael, basically is a gigolo. But he has his reasons on why he does it. Basically, his father ran off and took all of his family's money, and so he, you know, is a gigolo, and he ends up getting hired by this woman who, she's like a brilliant mathematician. She's smart and beautiful, and she's actually on the autism spectrum. And her parents are always on her case about finding a husband and yada yada, whatever. So she hires Michael to teach her how to not only have a boyfriend, but also how to have sex. And it was a fantastic book. Like, I absolutely loved it. And it featured Asian love interest, which I thought was really great, and Helen Hoang just really did a great job with that book. I gave that 5 stars. The next book is Intercepted by Alexa Martin. If you know me, you know I love football. Football has always been like my favorite sport. I never played as a kid. I mean, my dad had 2 girls. There was no way he was gonna let his daughters play even flag football, right? But I grew up watching football. My dad is from New York. He's a huge Jets fan. My husband is a diehard Packer fan. I, like all 90s kids, was in love with the Cowboys back in the day. I have since been converted to a Packers fan. Go Pack, go. And so this was actually the first sport romance that I have like read like ever. And I adored it. It's basically about this girl. I can't remember her name right now. I'm so sorry. But basically, she finds out that her boyfriend, who happens to be a pro football player, has been cheating on her, kicks him to the curb, and she actually develops a friendship and rekindles a relationship with the one-night stand she had, whom is the new starring quarterback of the, I think, Denver Mustangs is the team. Anyway, they have like this incredible romance, and it's just really good. There were a couple of things in the book that I was just like, okay, girl. But other than that, I really loved it. Plus, like, there was also kind of like a girl fight scene that was hilarious. And what I really liked about this book too is I listened to the audio. Phenomenal. The audio had me like laughing out loud. It was such a good book. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely though, it was my favorite read for the book of April. On to May. My top read for May was The Wrong Family by Tarryn Fisher. First of all, I listened to this book at work, and it was really one of those books that like you're listening to it and you're like working and you're getting stuff done, and then something happens and you're like, oh my God, what? I don't know how many outbursts I had while listening to this book, but this book took me out. The ending took me out. The middle took me out once you start putting the pieces together. And that's what I really like about Tarryn Fisher. This is the second book of hers that I have read. And that's exactly what she does. Like, you have to put together all of these different pieces for everything to start making sense. And then once it does, it literally kicks you right in the chest. Phenomenal. Great book. I gave it 5 stars. June, my favorite book was Savior by Fiona Cole. This was, I believe, the second book in the Voyeur series. Voyeur was fantastic, and I read that in May, and the only reason why I didn't pick that one as my book of the month is because I read The Wrong Family. Anyway, so this book I gave 5 stars, and it's about this guy whom basically he's kind of like a vigilante, but he actually saves women that have been abducted and sold into sex trafficking. Phenomenal book. He and this gal that he basically ends up rescuing from a really crappy situation. I believe she ended up answering like an ad for like to make quick money, and she was like almost freaking kidnapped, and her sister was like some cracked out woman that lived with her boyfriend and didn't care about her, and it was just crazy. But I read this book like that. It was so good. So yeah, definitely check that one out. The next one, Zemi, A Marriage of Inconvenience by Rebekah Weatherspoon. First of all, Rebekah Weatherspoon is my girl, okay? Her books are phenomenal. Xeni was amazing. This was actually the second book of hers that I have read, and I ended up going on a Rebekah Weatherspoon binge after that. But Xeni is about Xeni and Mason. So Xeni finds out that her beloved aunt passed away and left her basically her estate and all her money. But the only way that she can claim the money is if she marries Mason, who is this like big and like just brooding Scottish guy, right? And he lives like, and they live like in this small town in upstate New York. they get married because, you know, I mean, you're not going to pass up that kind of money, right? Plus, if Xeni marries Mason, then part of the inheritance will go towards paying some of Mason's debts, because Mason and the aunt were like best friends, right? So anyway, it actually turns out, and this is why I love Rebekah Weatherspoon, because she writes all kinds of romance that you wouldn't necessarily think about. So not only is this an interracial relationship, but also Mason is bisexual, and actually so is Xeni. But regardless though, they just have such a great rapport with each other. And they also understand that, like, there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of things going on, because there are also some things that Xeni finds out about her aunt that relates back to her family that she has to process and work through. Mason has some trust issues and things like that that he has to work through. But regardless, like, the book is fantastic. And also the fact that, like, they do spend like a considerable amount of time apart and they're still able to come back and be together is fantastic. And another thing that I really love about this book is that in the epilogue, and a lot of the times the epilogue will dictate if I remove a star. So for example, Intercepted, I removed a star because of the epilogue. And basically what I loved about this book was, like, it fast forwarded like a year and they're together, and it literally says in there that, you know, they don't want to have kids. It's not that they don't like children. It's not that, you know, they have anything against being parents, but they just know that for them in their relationship, they just want to be with each other. I love that. So many times I read epilogues, and this is what happened with Intercepted. Intercepted was a 5-star read for me, you guys. And then, boom, fast forward like 2 years later, she's pregnant. Okay, like, I can't do it. It just, to me, it's kind of a cop-out. I get it. That's what everybody does. We're here to procreate, whatever. But my characters, like, I always, like, just put them at such a high pedestal. And I just feel like if that's it, I don't like it. And that was not this book. So that's why it definitely stayed 5 stars for me. So I absolutely love that book. And I just told you one of my book pet peeves. So there you go. Anyway, and Xeni was my July book. August book is Credence by Penelope Douglas. And you guys need to go follow Books by Mel, I believe her name is, on Instagram. She's also the CEO, founder, all the things of the Steamy Box. She's awesome, and she recommended Credence. When I tell you Credence was good, I tell you Credence was good. I finished that book, and it was 476 pages. And remember, I have a learning disability. Like, I'm dyslexic. I can't read that fast. You know what I mean? I read this book in like 2 days. That's a lot. And you guys, don't forget, I have a full-time job. I work 40 hours a week. I drive 40 minutes to and from work. And I read that book in 2 days. So I'm not even gonna tell you what this book is about. It was that good. I don't want to spoil anything about it. It is available on Kindle Unlimited. Go read it. That's all I'm gonna say. Phenomenal book. Penelope Douglas, 5 stars. And I will say, the epilogue has a child in it, and I didn't care. That's how good that book was. Phenomenal. Okay. Next book. Oh, girl. Okay. Next book that I read, and this one too, kid in the epilogue, totally fine with it, and plus it made sense, and if you read the book, you'll know why. Anyway, next one, Colters Woman by my girl Maya Banks. That's my September book of the month. That's another book. I read that book in a day, and it was 272 pages. You guys, I work 40 hours a week. I work 8 hours a day, travel 40 minutes to and from work. I finished that book in a day. It was that damn good. Could not put it down. Anyway, this book is awesome because this is a book in relation to I don't know if it's called polyamorous. Actually, it is. Yeah, it's a polyamorous relationship. Basically, 3 guys, 1 wife. Kind of a little weird that they're all brothers, but if you just read the book, holy shit. Excuse my language, but this book was so good. And not to mention too, there was also kind of like a suspense thriller part of it where it did definitely have me on the edge of my seat. And I adored the ending. When I tell you I adored the ending, I adored the ending. So definitely peep that book if you can. So good. I actually just finished the 3rd book in that series, and I have 2 more to read. I'm probably gonna go on hiatus for that one a little bit, but they're really good books. My October book of the month, and this is another recommendation by Books by Mel. Yo, Priest by, what is her name? Sierra Simone. Priest is the only book that I read in October. And granted, I gave it 5 stars. But even if I could have read 10 books in October, that book was always going to be my book of the month. Father Tyler is incredible, okay? I loved everything about this book. It's basically about a priest who is a man of the cloth, and he is very, what's the word I want to use? He's devout, you know, he's a man of God. He meets a woman, I cannot remember her name for some reason, and he just immediately feels a connection, and some things happen, and all I'm gonna say is essential oils. Not even essential oils. Sacrilegious oils. I don't know what they are. Anyway, that book had me clutching my pearls. Like, this book was 354 pages, and it took me probably about 5 or 6 days to read, only because I didn't want to finish it. Like, I put off that book because it was so good. I did not want it to end, and it was a phenomenal book. I absolutely loved it. So check that one out as well. And my November book of the month. This one was recommended to me. I don't know who recommended it, but I read the shit out of it. Excuse my language. Twisted Minds by Keta Kendrick. It's the first in the Twisted Minds series. This is an interracial romance, which is the majority of, I really like reading interracial romance. I mean, look at my husband. Anyway, this was about a girl named Megan whom infiltrates, well, basically, okay, I'm not going to say that part because I'm giving stuff up. Anyway, basically, Megan has to go to this incredibly racist motorcycle club in Podunk, Florida, to pay off a debt that her sister had acquired. Her sister is a drug addict, and she owes thousands of dollars to this motorcycle club. If she can't work this money off, then they're gonna kill her. So the motorcycle club agrees, and I mean, they are backwoods and super racist, right? And basically, though, she ends up falling for the motorcycle club's at like the president's son. His name is Aaron. Okay, first and foremost, Aaron makes it very, very clear, like, he is not with that racist shit. He's like, nope, I love this club, but all of that other stuff, absolutely not. Some shit goes down, and the book is incredible, though. I mean, oh, girl is Megan. I love Megan. I love her. But that book, whew, that book was 149 pages of steam, and I lived. When I tell you I lived, I lived. Fantastic book. I just started reading the 3rd book. Was it the 3rd one? Yeah, I just started reading the 3rd book the other day, but you know me, I'm reading like 9 books right now. So yeah, so those are my 11 top books so far this year. Again, they're phenomenal reads. Definitely peep them out. I will tell you that, like, quite a few of these are also available on Kindle Unlimited, and I can tell you probably all of them are probably available at your local library. And for example, also like Priest by Sierra Simone, that book is like $5 on Kindle. So peep it. You won't be disappointed. Anyway, I haven't picked my December book yet. I will tell you though, when I look at my list, so far this month I have finished, actually no, The Roommate is so far the only book I've finished so far this month. So, but when I do wrap up my December reads, I'll be sure to give you guys an update on what my December book of the month was. And then after that, what I'll do is I'll do my battle of the books to see what was my favorite book of 2021. if you remember last year, my favorite book of the month, my favorite book that I read last year was Small Great Things by Jodi Picoult, which is another fantastic read. So yeah, so we will see what happens, but this is just part 1. So I have a lot more book videos coming up. I will tell you that tomorrow I'm going to be going through the prompts that I was able to achieve through doing the Pop Sugar Challenge. I hit 26 prompts, so really proud of myself. And I really like the Pop Sugar prompt list because what I like to do is I just read, and then I usually go back in December to figure out what it is that I hit. So that's always like really fun about that one. But anyway, but that is all that I have for you guys. So I do hope that you enjoyed today's vlog and you had a fantastic day yourself. If this is the first time you have visited my channel and saw my videos, welcome. I do hope that you come back and watch more of Vlogmas. Make sure though that you hit the subscribe so that way you can be notified of when I have a video, and also, you know, the notification bell, all that stuff. And make sure you guys give me a like. You know, I'm really excited to be doing Vlogmas, and even happier that I am on day 2. Anyway, tomorrow is Friday, so I'm gonna go ahead and head on out here and finish watching this game with my husband. I do hope that everybody has a fantastic night, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.